Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the engine room of a business's finances. We're going to uncover an unseen force, something so powerful it can take a company that's making record profits and drive it straight into the ground. So, let's kick things off with a question that honestly sounds impossible. Picture this. A company's sales are just soaring, their profit charts are through the roof, and then, boom, suddenly they're out of business. How on earth does that happen? Well, it's a paradox, and it's known as profitable failure. The answer, believe it or not, lies in something called working capital. All right, so to solve this whole mystery, we have to get our heads around a concept that financial managers apparently spend more than half their time just wrestling with. It's the true lifeblood of any company. You know, at its heart, net working capital is actually pretty simple. All you do is you take what you own that can be turned into cash pretty quickly. We're talking about your actual cash, the products sitting on your shelves, and the invoices your customers still owe you. And then you subtract what you have to pay out soon, like bills from your suppliers. The number you get? That's your operational breathing room. It's the cash you have to run the day-to-day. And that breathing room is absolutely essential for what's known as the cash cycle. The best way to think about it is like a circulatory system for your business, right? You start with cash. You use that cash to buy inventory. Then you sell that inventory to your customers, who are now technically your debtors, and then you collect the cash from them, and the whole thing starts all over again. So here's the crucial point. Speed is everything. I mean, everything. The faster you can turn that stuff on your shelves and those unpaid customer invoices back into cold, hard cash, the healthier your business is going to be. Because the longer your cash is just trapped, sitting there as products or as an IOU, the more risk you're taking on. And that right there brings us to the real challenge of managing all of this. It's this constant balancing act. It's like a financial tightrope walk between playing it safe and being profitable. Okay, let's break down this trade-off. On one hand, you could have high working capital, lots of cash, tons of inventory. You feel super safe, right? You'll never run out of stock. But all that cash is just sitting there, tied up, not earning you anything, so you're less profitable. Now, on the other hand, you could run lean, low working capital. Your money is out there working hard for you, which is great for profitability, but you are walking a razor's edge. One customer paying late could mean you can't pay your own bills. It's high risk, but a high reward. So what happens when that high wire act goes, well, catastrophically wrong? We're about to see the very real, very scary danger of growing way too fast. This whole phenomenon has a name: over-trading, and it is the ultimate trap of success. You're getting so many orders, which is great, so you keep buying more and more inventory on credit to keep up. Your sales numbers look absolutely incredible, but you're burning through money way faster than it's coming in. You are quite literally growing broke. Okay, let's look at how this plays out. On paper, this company is an absolute superstar. I mean, look at these numbers. From March to June, sales more than doubled. And the net profit? It exploded. It went from $40,000 to $144,000. By any traditional measure, this is a massive success story. But that's profit. Let's just forget about profit for a second and look at the one number that really matters for survival: the actual real cash in the bank account. Okay, in March, they had $200,000. Pretty good. But by the end of April, it's all gone. They claw back a tiny bit in May, but then look at June. Zero. Nothing. In the exact same month that they booked a record $144,000 in net profit, they had absolutely no money left. They are, for all intents and purposes, bankrupt. And this just perfectly illustrates the fatal flaw. Here's exactly what was going on. The company had to pay its suppliers for all that new inventory within 30 days. But its customers, the people who were supposed to be giving them cash, they were only paying their bills after 60 days. This created a 30-day cash black hole that just got bigger and bigger as sales grew, until it completely swallowed the company. Okay, so our company has no cash. Their only lifeline is to get a loan just to stay afloat. But in their desperation, they're about to walk right into another hidden financial trap, one that's going to make a really bad situation even worse. You see, an advertised interest rate of, let's say, 12% isn't always 12%. It all comes down to how often that interest gets calculated or compounded. If it's compounded once a year on a 1,000 Rand investment, you've got 1,120 at the end of the year. Simple. But if it's compounded monthly, you end up with more money because you start earning interest on your interest every single month. So to cut through all that confusion, you have to calculate something called the effective annual rate, or EAR. This formula basically translates any loan, no matter how they calculate the interest, into one simple comparable annual rate. It shows you the true cost of borrowing. So that 12% loan offer, once you factor in the monthly compounding, isn't 12% at all. It's actually a 12.68% loan. Now, that might not sound like a huge difference, but when you're a company that's already bleeding cash, that hidden extra cost is just another twist of the knife. So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, it's pretty simple, but it's also profound. First, remember this. Profit is an opinion, but cash is a fact. Profit on a spreadsheet is totally useless if you can't pay your bills. Second, growing fast can actually kill your business if your cash cycle can't keep up. And finally, always look past the advertised interest rate to find the true effective cost of any debt you take on. And that leaves us with one final question to think about. Whether you're running a company or just managing your own finances, it's really worth asking. Are you just focused on the profit you're making on paper? Or are you paying close attention to the actual cash you need to survive? Because the answer could be the difference between success and failure.